It was in France that Genesis unveiled the Magma GT Concept to mark its anniversary when the event was attended. Genesis didn't opt for a party. Instead, it presented a machine showing a direction toward performance. The Magma GT Concept has been described as more than just a design sketch. A message is set out by the Magma GT Concept that a flagship sports machine is being imagined for motorsport and potential production. A shark nose front has been spotted on the car. The shark nose front provides this model with a rather aggressive appearance. There's a deep splitter across the bumper that cuts air while giving it a very stable stance. It has a lower intake with a G-matrix pattern shown in it. This lower intake directs airflow and cools the vehicle down. The Genesis twin-line lighting has been reworked, with new treatment giving it a different look altogether. On the outer edges of the headlights, canards show, thereby providing function to the lighting design. In this manner, this arrangement shows a blend of style and engineering, both being a part of the headlight and the canards. Further back, the bodywork becomes a ventilated clamshell hood. The ventilated hood offers better thermal management and helps to reinforce the multi-layer identity of the concept. Butterfly doors add the drama, underlining the positioning of the car. Blacked-out A-pillars form a wraparound canopy to give the greenhouse a visor-like effect. As the cabin tapers towards the tail, it reveals a narrow boat tail shape that reinforces performance and underlines the mid-engine layout. The evidence of capability consists of lightweight wheels and a high-performance braking system. The wheel design supports brake cooling and reduced rotational mass, further enhancing the performance goals of the vehicle. At the back, the Magma GT shows a character inspired by motorsport. The vented fascia allows air extracted from the powertrain compartment to cool the mid-rear engine mounting. Anchoring the upper rear design is a full-width light bar with illuminated Genesis lettering, adding a distinctive branding touch. A large aerodynamic diffuser dominates the lower portion of the bumper. There's also a center-mounted exhaust layout with the peculiar three-section design for a distinct sound that promises serious engine power. No details of a technical nature have been made available to date. An engine layout has been confirmed for the concept, but nothing else is known about the possible power plant. The proportions and aggressive form do point to the fitment of a powerful engine, possibly a V8, but that is purely speculation at this point. A similarity between this and current mid-engine sports cars on sale can be seen. A production variant might be made, and sometime in the future, a battle with models such as the Chevrolet Corvette and other mid-engine sports cars around the world could be staged. Genesis President and Chief Creative Officer Luc Donkerwolke has described the Magma GT as a manifestation of the evolving performance vision of the brand. The concept promises a sense of connection and composure under pressure, according to its description. This development philosophy emphasizes a focus on precise calibration so that every component is working toward one single goal, building confidence through creating a performance experience. A description positions the Magma GT as something more other than a simple display model where developing an entire class of performance vehicles is dedicated only to the lineup which Genesis offers. Even though it's conceptual in appearance, almost a concept car, the Magma GT hasn't been dismissed as flight of fancy. Genesis has already acknowledged that a real-world performance flagship could be on the cards. The Magma GT is being used as a roadmap to illustrate the direction in which the brand wants to go as it begins to explore racing involvement and an expanded high-performance portfolio. The concept aligns with the recently announced performance strategy, which introduced the idea of a halo model that would elevate the brand's global performance profile. References to a racing derivative give weight to the seriousness of that ambition. Taken together, these developments reflect a larger shift in strategic direction. The first decade of the brand was all about earning trust with great design, solid construction, and refinement. The second seems to be all about technology, real performance, and possible motorsport involvement. A production Magma GT would be the flagship, a beacon of engineering ambition and an expansion of the Genesis identity beyond mere luxury. The cabin design and aerodynamic surfaces of this concept disclose a new stylistic approach not seen before from this brand. The creation of a mid-engine layout would require major investment and a significant shift in the engineering philosophy. So, the indication of movement toward production would mark a turning point. The suggestion of a racing version further supports that a broader performance subdivision might be considered, perhaps with international competition. Were the Magma GT to move into production, it would enter a sector that is almost entirely dominated by established icons of high performance. Its unique styling, motorsport-driven proportions, and the potential V8 powertrain could see the GT emerge as a real contender. As visually unique and potentially race-capable, it would have an advantage in a segment filled with choices. Even as a concept, the Magma GT represents a statement of intent to reset brand expectations, reach new customers, and overstep former boundaries. The concept marks an advance into a new chapter. But it's more than a stylistic exercise, it's a harbinger for a performance-oriented future. Its shape, its revised lighting features, its mid-engine silhouette, these things in their confluence presage a nascent vision for which high-tech engineering is the driving element. The road from concept to production is never sure. But if the Magma GT is something approaching an accurate telling of what's to come, then the future of this brand might extend far beyond luxury sedans and crossover vehicles. A pivot to leading-edge sports cars and motorsport could well be standing ready in the wings.